Hi, my name is Michael Graves from Singing from Scratch, and I'm going to show you how to sing high notes. It's actually very simple. Sing high notes like this. Okay? Now, I haven't warmed up or anything, so it's not as high as I can go or so forth, but you get the idea. Number one, things we need to cover are the voices, okay? You've heard of chest voice, you've heard of head voice, right? You've heard of modal, you've heard of falsetto, you've heard of all these different types of voices. But the truth of the matter is it's crap. There isn't any voice other than your own, right? You only have one voice, your voice, right? And your voice consists of your diaphragm, your lungs, your vocal cords, and then the different areas or chambers of resonation where the sound resonates within your throat and your mouth and your nose. So if I was going to do, or what I do actually in Singing from Scratch and the fourth module or the fourth element of singing, which is resonance, I talk about those three voices, right? And those three voices being the throat, the mouth, and the nose, right? There's not a head voice in there. There's not a chest voice in there. There's not a singing from your stomach, because in your chest you have lungs, you have a heart, you have so forth and so on. There is no resonation that's happening there. It happens in the throat. It starts the vocal cords and goes up, all right? There is no resonation that actually happens within the head. If you have a brain, then there is no resonation up there. There's nowhere for the sound to actually resonate and come back out, okay? It all happens within the throat and the mouth and in the nose. Now, when it comes to high notes, right, the high note is basically what normally is thought of as like falsetto, ba 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 ba, right? But with more volume and one little thing that you have to be aware of. So it would be like this, ba 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 ba, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. You notice there's a volume change, right? If I'm going ah to ah ah ah, right? There's the difference there in the volume. To get volume, the first step of hitting a high note is obviously going to be volume. The way you get volume is to open up the chambers of resonation to allow the volume to resonate and grow and come out, right? So you open up the throat, you open up the mouth, you drop back the tongue, okay? And you tighten up like you were singing the notes of a falsetto type of note and pushing out that volume, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little thing right now that is going to dispel the rumor of a falsetto in this crack. People go, well, how do I eliminate that falsetto? And I'll do a whole other video on this. But basically, you'll hear in male voices, you'll hear that I'm going to call it crack. There's a scientific name for it, and there's all this other crap. I'm not into the whole words thing about it's this and the pharyngeal and this and the other and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. Just open up, right? So what happens is when that crack happens and that break happens into falsetto, quote unquote, it simply means that your throat is not opened up enough. So it's like this. La. You hear that stop? La, la. And then going back down. La. There's a lot of different scientific or technical reasons why that's occurring, but think of it this way. Think of it as simply being you're not opening up your throat, so that what happens is the volume in the air pushes and then it pops through. Or going down, same thing. You're usually going down and it pops going back down. So it's like la, right? Or la. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go la. I open up the throat as I go up there and back down. La, 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 la. Right? I'm opening up. I'm opening up and allowing the sound to not back up against itself and create that break. All right? The only difference between the ha and a la is volume and opening up. Okay? So you go la, la. So what I'm doing is I'm just opening up so that that break doesn't occur. Next thing is is people talk about, well, how can I sing high notes without it breaking? Well, anytime that your voice breaks at a high note, it's one of two reasons. Either you haven't worked on your range enough to strengthen the muscles and open up and be able to, there's muscles that tighten things and there's muscles that open things, right? Both of those sets of muscles need to be worked on for you to increase your high range, okay? So you're talking about like, if I don't open up my throat, this is what happens. La, la, you can hear it start to stretch, right? And that's what happens, la, la, and it breaks, right? But if I open up and I go, la, right? So I'm actually opening up and allowing that note while tightening down the vocal cords, vocal flaps actually, and opening up at the same time the throat, the mouth, and everything up here so that it can resonate and grow and be a high note. So we've gone over a couple things here. One, you need volume. Well, first off, there's only one voice, your voice. There's 3 different chambers of resonance that you can divide them into, and the combination of those creates different types of resonances, being the throat, la, or la, la. You can even do it with them in your middle range, la. And I'm pushing everything, la, into the throat and opening of the mouth. Or I sing with the mouth voice, la, 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 la. Or I sing in the nose, la, 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 la. It's all up in there. It's all in the sinus chambers, okay? The nasal passages. That's the nose voice, quote unquote, right? So we went over those 3. Number 2. You want to stop from breaking into what is considered falsetto, then you open up the voice, and you open up, not the voice, you open up the throat, and allow that sound to get up there and to grow. La, right? So, what you need to work on then is strengthening the muscles and hitting higher and higher notes, opening up your throat muscles in the mouth and dropping the tongue back to create the space for that high note to then resonate and come out, right? And you also have to work on pushing enough air, right? That's where that diaphragm comes. People talk about singing from the diaphragm. Your diaphragm doesn't make any noise, right? But I understand that it's like a mental thing. You go, singing from the diaphragm just means use more air. Use your diaphragm more. Right? Instead of going la 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 la. All right. Well, I'm going to take a little more air, open up a little bit, create some space, and go la 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 la. That's pretty much how you sing a high note. Okay? Open up, tighten the chords, open the throat, open the mouth. Create as much resonance, and sing with a lot of air and push it up there. That's how to sing a high note. Michael Graves, singing from scratch.